everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Law Seekers. So my fellow law seekers, today I am going to be talking a little bit about the New York State Bar and the window that was afforded to the 15 law schools in the state. Those persons who were allowed the opportunity to apply did so, and that window has been closed. Now, we're still hoping, of course, that there's going to be a second window going down to May 30, keeping our fingers crossed, because as it is, everybody else has been locked out of that first phase. And I sincerely hope that there is going to be the second phase, so that those persons, as many as possible who can be accommodated according to the availability of seating, will in fact be accommodated. So let's keep that hope alive. Now, this evening, we are going to be looking at an issue that came in for me to consider. Before I do consider that issue, which touches and concerns an area of immigration law, I want to just put the disclaimer that I normally give out, that in fact I do not give legal advice on this channel. For you to get legal advice, you'd have to be the subject of a professional legal agreement, a retainer agreement, setting out the terms of the professional relationship, the nature, the scope, and so on. And so this is really not legal advice for you to take it as such, but for you to get specific advice from your immigration attorney. However, this information I'm going to provide as I see it. Okay? Now, the question that came in says, I am a recent law school graduate from overseas in the USA on an F1 visa. My EAD expires in a few days. I found out that the government gave an automatic extension on EADs. I recently married and filed I-485. Am I eligible if I hold a CO3 and I'm waiting on my CO9? So this is the response I gave, subject to the disclaimer. I'm going to put it out for you as well, because I'm sure that many other persons have this and or similar issues grappling with. Now, the EAD is the acronym for Employment Authorization Document, issued by the USCIS to facilitate temporary employment, and is popularly called the work permit. Now, sometimes you may hear it referred to as the I-766. It's the same thing. The EAD, the work permit, the I-766, one and the same. Now, what you heard referred to as the CO3 is really the category code that the USCIS designates to beneficiaries of student visas, the F1. That category of EADs is further subdivided into 5 subcategories. There is the CO3A, that is for pre-completion OPT F1 students, the CO3B for post-completion OPT F1 students, the CO3C, the 17-month extension for STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, or math, OPT students. The CO9 is the category code for the EAD granted pending a decision on an application for adjustment of status, the I-485. Oh, I should have mentioned the other 2 CO3 categories, at the CO31 and the CO32. Those are the additional categories. Now, it is not clear which precise category of the CO3 EAD this person was concerned about, but what I must say is that absolutely no holders of the CO3 category fall into the designation which make them eligible for the automatic extension. Now, that automatic extension is for 180 days from the expiry of one's current EAD. And that has been that has been allowable for certain categories of EAD since January of 2017. But as I've said, the CO3 category is not eligible for the automatic extension. What happens in that case, or what should happen, is that a timely application should be filed by the EAD holder so that that is in the system and it is actually receipted, not received, receipted by the USCIS. So you should get your notice of action, which is your I-797C, to say or to confirm that the document, the application to renew, has been received, and that serves as your receipt. And of course, you are able to apply as early as 120 days before the expiry of your current EAD. You must do it before the current EAD expires and ensure that it is receipted, as I've said, by the USCIS. And then that is what you use now, the copy of the I-797C, as well as your current EID, and you are able now to show that to your new employer, or your employer if you're not getting a new position. So, for the avoidance of doubt, the eligibility for the 180 days extension to an EAD depends on the concurrence of 3 conditions. First, there must be an application to renew the existing EAD, and this must be receipted by USCIS on or prior to the expiry date on the face of the card. The EAD being renewed must indicate on its face that it falls in the same category as the category which is being applied for. And that would be on the notice of action, very visible, which I've said is the I-797C. The applicant must fall in a category which makes him or her eligible for the extension. Once you satisfy those 3 conditions, then there's no reason why you should not get your renewal. The existing category for the 180-day extensions are the AO3, the AO5, the AO7, the AO8, the A10, the CO8, the CO9, the C10, C16, C20, C22, C24, C31, A2, or C19. And I used A2 or C19 because those are used interchangeably. Now, I think that should clarify the issue for this person and hopefully for my viewers as well. Let me see if I missed anything. I don't think so. The important thing is that one's ability to continue employment depends on having a valid EAD, which means that there is no harm in preserving your CO3 category until the CO9 category is approved. So here is someone who is adjusting status. They have filed the I-485 to get that adjustment of status approved. And of course, the I-131 application would be done so that the combo card for the EAD and the travel authority is given at the same time. But what this person has presently is a CO3 employment authorization, having received that as an F1 student, and it is about to expire. And the one that he or she has applied for, which will be had, the combo card, will be had when the I-485 is approved, is not yet in hand. And we know that there's a big backlog because of COVID-19, and there was a backlog before anyhow. So what is to happen? That's what the person wants to know. Should they continue working? And the answer is you ought not to continue to work unless you have a valid and effective EAD because that will jeopardize your green card, your adjustment of status application, if it is that you work on an expired EAD. You must work on a valid and effective EAD. So if the one you have, which is a CO3, is going to expire or has expired, then you must wait until you get the new one. Unfortunately, that is the position, because otherwise you are going to be in violation, and you certainly don't want that to happen. So keep your fingers crossed and hope that the new one comes in. That is the position to adopt by anyone experiencing that situation. And remember, this is not legal advice. It is given subject to the disclaimer that I made. Check with your own immigration specialist. Okay? So, as usual, it was my pleasure being here and trying to share some of what I have. I hope you enjoyed being here with me, and I look forward to being with you again. Okay? Peace out.